All right, hey guys, here we are. This is going to be a POC 6. I'm thinking about 5 on my top spin here. You may want to check out my other guide. I'm going to stay away from that hook slice method. I find that to be probably a little bit risky. Now you'll see that I'm aiming kind of towards this corner right here. And I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 5 rings for this. I went 5 rings. Other than that, I'm going to try to curl just a little bit more aggressive than I did on that last one. So I do want to wind up a little bit more to the right to keep this hole just a bit shorter. So you can see I'm getting a little bit more risky. Oh, wow, look at that bad. So I hit a downslope. Look at that. Wow. So that ball really took off on me. And something that, you got to hope that just doesn't happen to you. This is just going to be a brutal hole. It really is going to be more beneficial for you to have a power 4. You may even want to go berserker just to make sure. I was half tempted to do it. I almost did, to be honest with you. I was very close to just saying, you know what, we'll take berserker just to make sure that we have enough range for the second shot. But you do get a little bit of a headwind. So it'd be better if you have like a gear or an autumn. Those are going to be kind of like the best balls to play. Another really good ball to play is going to be like a jewel ball. So if you can use something like that, I really do think that you have an advantage. All I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to pitch out because, I'm assuming that you can kind of play it this way and get it into the fairway on your own. And hopefully, avoid that bad break that I got. So I'm just going to pitch mine out so we can still concentrate on this shot. So one thing, you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to go parallel to wherever the tee box was. So you can see this is in the direction that but I also have a side wind. So I'm going to just curl it into the wind here. So you'll see I'm going back right in the line with I would have been off the tee because this is gonna really still show me kind of where I wind up in relation to how I played that tee shot. Because had it been just a little bit shorter, this is where I'd be. So let's see what this shot looks like. And I'm thinking we might want to go hook slice here. We'll have to just see how it sets up. I was really worried about my last hole getting it in the water had I hit that fairway. And you'll probably will want to check out that other guide just so you can see kind of what you're up against with power 4. And if you want to see how many rings hook slice sniper is and kind of where the reference aim is, I think I had the rings pretty nailed. I didn't get far enough off the tee, which means I didn't get right enough off the tee. So now you can see that I get much more of that right angle. We have plenty of room to play this shot. So with that being said, I probably won't go hook slice. So it pays to be aggressive here because I won't have to go hook slice now because I can land much more up towards this. So I do want to make sure that I'm not running through the fairway when I pick this line. So I'm going to play somewhere around here and then probably still curl on top of this. So we won't need to go hook slice. So I'm thinking 7 rings here. And most of my curl is being used here. And more so than anything, I'm just trying to get this up here to give myself a reasonable shot. You can see it did still clip the rough. I want to avoid using too much of that topspin. The biggest thing with the topspin, if I get too much and it rolls out, it's going to be long in the rough. So you do got to try to scale how much you use and just hope that it just clears that rough on that second bounce by barely. Because I would have wound up with a better shot had it not clipped that rough. But I will kind of show you the pitch there. I'd like to still at least look at it before forfeiting here. This is one of the hardest holes that they've put out in a long time. This definitely ranks up there. I mean, just looking at, what you have to do, especially with the wind that they give. I mean, this is a really, really tough hole. You almost have to, and one of the things you might want to check out is my opponent's hook slice in my last video. Because it's something epoch 6, epoch 7 can probably pull off. It's something that you at least want to be considering. Now, you'll see I'm towards max club a bit. I'll typically, to be honest with you, I'll typically go for dunks on these because, well, there's enough green here that it is rolling out towards the hole. So if there wasn't, I would typically avoid this. But you'll see there's almost a lot of error over here. A lot of points, a lot of guides feed down to the hole. So that's one of the only times that I'll actually play this shot kind of straight up. And you'll see whether, no matter how many rings I go, the ball guide almost stays in the hole. So even though I went 5 rings there, the ball guide's like right on the edge of the hole. But look at that. Like, is it rolling? Is it going to make it? And it doesn't. So the ball guide really changed with how that landed there. So did you see that bounce? It took like a hop bounce. And the one that I set up to hit, which it looked like there was no, it took like a scoot bounce there. So I actually ended up getting robbed with the way that guide, I should have maybe zoomed in on those spots just a little bit better to make sure that there wasn't any of those glitchy bounces, which it looks like is exactly what I got. Either the wind changed the way that the ball guide was rolling out, and that's one of the things that could happen is, that I could see that what it showed on the video was it was going to scoot along the ground. And what I actually got as a result was that third hop. So I got a very small hop instead of the scoot rollout. So that changed my ball guide. But the question is, like, if I would have zoomed in, would there have been that spot somewhere around where I was aiming? I'm not sure. It could have been a wind-specific thing, where the wind was into the wind and it kind of changed that bounce. Instead of being a rollout, it just made it, one of those stop bounces. And so you can see that the ball guide didn't even roll out towards the hole at all with the way that my shot played out. So, keep that in mind. And that's one of the main reasons that, I may go for dunks is so I don't have to worry about how it's going to roll out. However, I do think, if you can get kind of a good feel for landing on a consistent zone there, that you're going to be able to feed it a lot down that hill, and the ball guide should be fairly consistent if you can actually get it to, run out the way that it's supposed to. So good luck with your rounds, guys. I'm going to start working on expert now. So good luck out there, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.